This is our wintertime project because it's too cold to paint on my Sarge truck. So I started another project. This is a truck I call my monster truck. I built it in like 2017, big block Chevy. I got rid of the big block. Bought a truck about 3 years ago to put a Cummins in it. I just figured it's about a good time to do it. So pulled all the front sheet metal off of it, got rid of the engine. Yesterday is the first day I really started modifying it for the Cummins. This is a Rob Bonney cross member, and I've got the Rob Bonney boxing plates to box the frame. So yesterday I cut the original cross member out. I got this kind of located, and I de-lipped the firewall. It's kind of a tricky deal to de-lip the firewall because you can set the truck on fire. So I whiz-wheeled it off there in little pieces and then welded back together and took a bottle of water and kept the metal cool so it didn't set the stuff behind it on fire. Then I kind of ground the weld out. It's hard to weld because it gets, you got that factory seam sealer in it. It boils out in your weld and kind of makes a mess out of it. But it's stitched back together good enough. I took some 3M seam sealer, kind of mopped over it. So I got the clearance I need for my Cummins. So we're going to go up to town to the machine shop, and I've got a Cummins block that I'm going to bring out here, and we're going to put the motor mounts on it, set it in the cross member. I'm going to put, if you look right over here, I got the transmission and transfer case still on the jack. Once we get the engine set in it, we're going to jack it up, put the engine or the transmission and transfer case in it so we can square the engine up in the chassis. And then we're going to give it about a 1/2 inch between the back of the cylinder head and the firewall. And once I get all that located, I can take and tack weld this cross member into place. And once the cross member's tacked into place, then I got to take all this stuff back out of it. And then we'll hard weld the cross member. I got to fabricate another cross member to go across here. And then we're going to take this cross member out. And then I can start putting my boxing plates in. So that's the project for today. Maybe next weekend too. So we'll see how it goes. Put it in the lengthways because you're going to brake harder. There we go. Good. Lay down. I was thinking, look at that. Around them bolts. Now it ought to hang straight. Now we're going to go across. See, so we need that picker bar. We need to make it a picker bar like we got at the shop. So we can spin it around on the end of that hook. We ain't got a hook.
I'd like the tailgate down.
Yeah, we'll just pick it up over the tailgate. How's that sound? It ain't got no internal stuff in it, so it's not super heavy. Get it in there, get our motor mounts on it. Got to put our adapter plate on the back. Bolt it in place. Put our transmission and transfer case in it. Square it all up. It's going to be one be wonderful. It's just like a big model car. You gonna be a model car builder, or you just gonna wait and just build pickups? You're just gonna wait and build pickups. It's more fun when you can get in on the drive. Yeah. Okay, let's see if it'll pick it up. Let's see what it'll do. It should just ease it right up there. Well, we ain't hanging quite straight. Hanging good, remember? It's just a mule, I'm gonna take that home. It's hitting the block right here, and I got to grind part of the block away to give it a little clearance. Because probably the starter's going to come clear to here, so rather than grind on that and then find out later the starter's going to hit the block, I'm just going to grind the block away. I mean, it's plenty thick. There ain't no problem with grinding it off there. Of course, this isn't the engine we're going to use. The engine we're going to use is in that truck sitting outside, which we'll look at that later. And above it a little more. Turn the middle a little bit now. Okay, since the last time we talked about this truck, I've got all my boxing plates welded in. I have my cross member welded in, and I had to put another cross member in it right here so I can hook my sway bar to it. I mean, if you can get down low, that's the factory sway bar. And then I put this 2x4 piece of square tubing and notched it to fit each end of the frame. And I put these two pieces of 2-inch square tubing to bolt the cross or the sway bar to. And then when I made this cross member, it was a piece of 6-inch to start with, and I ripped it down to 5 3/8. I took a piece out of it, welded it back together, and I thought it would look a lot cooler if I drilled holes in it. And I welded some 3-inch muffler tubing in the holes, then radiused it so it kind of looks like the dimple die boxing plates that are in it. Got the cross member welded in it. I already told you about the firewall where we delip that. We're gonna push it out and get the donor truck in here in a little bit, and start dismantling it. If you look right back here, that is where your automatic transmission arm hooks in to go over to the transmission. Is what I did was where I unbolted this off the frame, I measured, made me a mark, and then I measured back how far I scooted the transmission. I just took 1.5-inch hole saw, drilled a hole through it, and then I took the factory little piece and cut the bracket away and then slipped it in and welded it all the way around. So now your nylon grommet goes in that and your arm goes in that, and it hooks right back to your transmission. I thought it looked a little cleaner that way. This is our donor truck for for our Cummins swap. I bought this truck probably about 3-4 years ago, and I've had it up the shop. So we're getting ready to strip the engine out of it, and it's a 1997 Airplane Tug is what it is. This is the third one of these things I've bought. 48,000 miles. So we're going to take the engine out. We're going to do a little bit of stuff to the pump, head studs, valve springs, which we'll do that at the shop. And probably just wash and clean it up and then spoon it right over in that Chevrolet. And then put our 4L80 and our 205 and our gear vendor behind that. So we're in the process of taking it apart. When we get the engine out of it, we'll maybe videotape a little bit more. But this is kind of the fun part of a project, is taking a beating heart out and put it into a heartbeat of America, if you know what I mean.